And gentlemen, I'm caught again because of my co-host. Anyway, it's a Saturday night once again, and we're here on She Said, She Said. Tonight, we are very happy to have with us a dear friend of ours, and I'm sure he was a dear friend of many girls in the past.
In the past lang ba?
Well, I don't wanna talk about the present. I don't know, and I don't wanna speak and be caught. But anyway,
he's like making lingo there.
Okay, so she said that he is too young to be a ninong because she attended this wedding and she saw him as
on the list of sponsors. I'm like, why?
What is he doing there? He's too young. So that's what she said.
Yes, that's what I said. I'm like, no, this can't be Mike.
Yeah, no way.
And she said he has aged so gracefully. Actually, I think he's doing a Benjamin Button, right? I mean, to look at him today, he looks so trim. He's got a nice haircut.
Yeah.
So I think
for tonight.
For tonight.
He really had his hair cut for our show.
Oh, thank you.
That.
Okay, so the reason he has many hats because he was a lawyer for Accra Law. He did the news, presidential spokesman, presidential. What's the other one?
Press secretary.
Press secretary, and
he's a badminton player. He goes to the gym.
Hawaiian Airlines, which he didn't invite us to.
Yeah, no, he will. He did.
Yeah, he better. It's on.
He's going to invite us soon, and yeah, the whole world knows about it.
Ninong sa mga kasal.
Yeah.
Ninong of Jigger and May.
And he also worked in the Accra Law office, and what? He sings also.
Oh, he's a singer.
Yeah,
that's right.
He dances.
A little.
Yeah, he dances a little.
See, jack of all trades.
I know. I was asking him also.
I wonder if politics is in there. Do you have any intent? Oh wait, let's introduce him first.
Oh yeah. You know we keep talking and he's here in front of us. Yeah. Or should we just talk about him?
Let's just talk about him.
Okay. Anyway, so you know.
Kala ko you're single.
Okay, everybody's hoping that he's single. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
the debonair.
Okay, attorney Mike Toledo.
Hi, good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
No, but technically, you're supposed to call you the highest position that you've ever had.
Okay,
so we should be addressing you as
just call me Mike.
No, come on.
Presidential advisor,
be like
press secretary.
Formal. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
attorney.
Those were my positions then, but plain Mike would suffice.
Okay, let's talk
plain
about
Mike. Hi, plain Mike.
Hi, plain Mike. So, plain Mike, let's talk about your days in school. So, you went to school at the UP.
I did. I took
and what did you
Cebu
take
ka,
up?
diba? Are you from Cebu?
Yeah, Cebu and Bohol actually.
Bisaya
mo ko.
Bisaya man na.
Bisaya kayo. Oh, guwapo kayong Bohol. Bohol is a beautiful place.
Yeah, I know it's a beautiful. I've been there actually, and we're.
Why are you going?
I'm going for the office.
Panglao?
Cesar Montano in Lobok.
Lobok, that's my hometown.
Oh, really?
That's my father's hometown.
Okay, so we're going there because we're going to do like film education. We're going to show a film of Cesar Montano. We're going to discuss it with the students there.
Jamboree.
He's running for governor.
NPRCB.
NPRCB?
Why am I not invited?
Yes.
Oh, did you hear that? Never mind.
Okay. So you went to, what did you take up in college?
I took up philosophy and economics.
Wait, you're UP Cebu here, Manila?
UP Diliman.
Okay, so I was going to say. But your sister was UP Cebu, right?
Yeah, my sister was UP Cebu.
Marianne.
But
Yeah,
she's
because I was in
States
school
now.
with her.
Exactly.
What state is she in now?
Yeah, she's in Virginia.
She also did very well in school, by the way.
Okay. How many are you in the family?
We're 4.
And you are number?
I'm the eldest.
You're the eldest. Okay. Were your parents happy when you were born?
I guess so. I think they were.
Did they want a boy?
Happy. I guess at that time usually they would prefer that the eldest would be a man, a male.
Yes,
so
yes.
I guess my dad was happy. That's for
Where
sure.
was elementary? Bohol? Or
My
Cebu?
elementary was a combination. I went to San Beda because I started here, then I
Here.
went partly to San Carlos, then went back again to
Boys
Manila,
High.
San Agustin,
Oh,
then went back to
here.
Boys
School.
High. Yeah, because my father was assigned and all that. So it
How
was
hard to
kinda-
keep making friends? What was your
your
dad?
father,
Yeah.
your father
Yeah.
was
He was with government and he was assigned to work in Cebu. So, but
What
even when he was
specifically?
assigned, he was with the Bureau of Customs.
Right.
Yeah.
okay.
But even if he
So
was
ang dami
assigned-
yung imported cars.
I wish. Till I was in law school, I didn't have a car.
Where did you take law?
I
UP?
take UP, and I would
UP.
take the bus every day.
Good for you.
My dad
Yeah.
also commuted when he
know,
was
I know.
in
Good
school
for
in
him.
Ateneo.
Also my
Yeah,
dad.
he was in a
Exactly.
dorm and he commuted. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's good
Okay,
training.
so after, what did you want to be when you were young?
I always wanted to be a lawyer. I knew that. I knew that for a fact.
But your father was
My
not.
father was an engineer who wanted to be a lawyer, but normally during those times, the parents would usually dictate what their children should
Yes.
take.
And
what
they normally
course.
say doctor or priest.
Exactly, and since there was already a lawyer in the family, the eldest in my dad's siblings,
Did your sister take law as well, Marianne?
no.
No.
I think she sort of thought about it, but
So didn't she
nobody
take
did.
economics or something preparatory to law?
What she did was, I know she finished psychology,
Right.
BS psychology, and she took her master's in psychology in the States.
Oh, okay. So your dad already had a lawyer in the family, so he wanted you to take.
My dad, yeah, because his older brother became lawyer and a government official also, and was also in politics in Bohol. So my grandfather at that time said, "There's no way you take engineering." So because there was no engineer, so he said, "But I don't want to be an engineer. I want to be a lawyer." But said, "But no, we already have a lawyer." So grudgingly, he took it up and finished it. But after he did, he said, "Okay, here's my diploma. I don't want to be an engineer. I'm going to do something else." But he ended up not being a lawyer either, because I think he thought that another 4 years of schooling would and then
Yes.
plus the bar.
Yes.
So I guess my father was very happy to know that,
That you
I
became a
took
lawyer.
interest
Yeah.
in the study of law, because I really
That was his frustration.
that was his frustration. And I was influenced a lot by what I would see as kids. Normally television would really influence you, and I was so influenced with what I saw on television. I saw lawyers being able to defend people,
Yes.
being eloquent enough to say things, make things happen, or being able to explain things, and I felt that was good. There's something about the majesty and dignity of the law that I would want
Yeah.
to learn, and I would want to apply
Yeah.
in practice someday, which
Well,
I did.
You must have seen the very good lawyers, the very good ones.
On TV.
Yeah, on
that was
TV,
on
yeah,
TV.
yeah.
Was your dad forced to take a certain course as well?
Let me ask him.
Because my dad wanted to take medicine, but his brother was already a doctor, so my grandfather told him take law, so which is why he took law. So which is how he dictated to my older brother to take medicine, and me and him followed.
And were
But
you dictated
it's
on?
he told me to take dentistry. I go, I don't think so. Anyway, so back to you.
You should. You have nice teeth.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
so
like
do you.
blood. I'm so scared of blood.
Okay, so after law,
After
so you
law.
graduated and you went to Accra Law.
Wait,
Well,
what?
after law, I
Which
worked for
law did you specialize in?
Well, when I was at Accra Law, I specialized in all the aspects of the practice of law. Litigation, which includes corporate litigation, criminal litigation. There was also intellectual property law, taxation law, administrative law, immigration law. So it was a combination, because usually in the first 2 years they try to expose you to all
Everything.
facets on the practice of the law. But eventually they slowly train you to focus on a particular field. And in
Which
my case, I was
they
being
feel
focused.
you're best at?
Which I think the partners or
Yes.
those who are seniors at that time feel you would be more of an asset, and you would have
Okay.
can contribute a lot more to the firm, and for yourself too, as when you grow as a lawyer. So I think they felt that I could be a good litigator, because they put me into the litigation team. And for me, it was a good experience, because it allowed me to be exposed to various types of cases, whether it be criminal, corporate, or administrative, and that made me meet a number of big and important clients, big and important issues, and that was a very, very good exposure. Even when we were still fresh
Yes.
lawyers out of law school, just finished the bar exams, for example, just passed the bar, we were given the opportunity to go to court. And because I think
How exciting.
one of the fears really of any lawyer for that matter,
Yes.
and I really believe that this is the case for any lawyer, it's really the fear of being in court. But that fear is that can easily be, you could easily get over that fear if you gain experience. So for me it was important that as a young lawyer, try to be exposed immediately to the court practices, court procedure. You need not be an expert right away in that field. You can be eventually, or you may not want to specialize in that. You may want to do corporate law, which does not really require you to go to court. But the experience of appearing in court and advocating for a certain position, for example, let's say you're defending, or you're, let's say, prosecuting. In one of the cases that I handled, I can never forget, I prosecuted a rapist for free. It was pro bono, assigned by the Supreme Court. This lady was raped by someone else, by a man who...
And they say rape is the hardest thing to prove.
Yes, to a certain extent it is. But if the physical evidence is strong, and if you have also the other evidence, like the testimony of witnesses, and... But then again, any criminal case for that matter, you have to prove the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes.
Unlike, let's say, the iota of evidence required for, let's say, a civil case or administrative case, which is quite lower. So any criminal case for that matter, you have to prove that the guy or the person is guilty of the crime he is being accused of beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay.
So if there's any doubt, no matter how small, he should be acquitted.
Wow. Okay, why were you saying that the case that you handled on rape was unforgettable for you?
Well, it was my first major criminal case.
Okay.
And it was
Heavy.
it was heavy because it's a crime against persons, as they call, if I remember my law correctly, because it's been quite some time since I've actually practiced.
Oh, you're not
criminal
practicing
law
anymore?
I don't practice it in the same
Because you
way
have your
that
own
I used
company
to practice before.
right.
I don't go to court anymore. But I have to admit,
Corporate.
I miss that. I miss
Oh,
going
you
to the
do?
court.
Oh.
I miss preparing for cross-examination. I miss the joust. For me, it's
Yeah,
just like it's a joust against the opposing counsel. But of course, it's not a game, because at the end of the day,
Lives.
justice and lives are at stake. And of course, respect for the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the presumption of innocence, they all come into play. But then again, the fact that you prepared the night before, and especially if you're up against a very prominent lawyer, very seasoned and experienced lawyer, and here you are, you're a young lawyer,
Year
so you
five.
try your best
Right.
Yeah.
to prepare for it.
Yeah.
And when you do quite okay, and
happy.
I always remember this because my, let's say, the senior partners and the older
Right.
lawyers, or the more seasoned lawyers in the firm would always say, you know, at the end of the day, just like what Einstein said, genius is 99% perspiration and 1%
1%.
inspiration.
Yeah.
So for as long as you're prepared, no matter how seasoned, how good he is, for as long as you know the facts of the case, for as long as you know the law, then there's nothing in this world that can ever dislodge you from your position, from your defense, or from your prosecution. You'd be fine. Just don't panic.
Yes.
You know, just don't panic. And
Well, you're not the type to panic anyway.
I try not to, or even if I
You're
do,
so
I
calm.
don't.
Or you don't show it.
I don't show it.
Okay, how long do they give you to prepare for a case?
Well, it depends. But unlike the United States, we're in, which is a good system, if I may, because our system is not as efficient as the United States.
Okay, what do you think about the justice system in our country?
Well, the justice system in our country, there's much to be desired. There's no doubt about that. For example, in terms of, let's say, how cases are decided, it takes too long.
Yes.
Especially in criminal or civil cases. And it's sad because it can be postponed and postponed. But in all fairness to the Supreme Court, who is of course the one who administers the courts, and in all fairness to the judges and even members of the bar, there is really a strong effort to correct these, shall we say, weaknesses. And I think slowly, or albeit slowly, that we see results. But the important thing is there is a conscious effort. The important thing is there's knowledge, knowing fully well that indeed there is a problem, and there's no denying that the problem exists. Because the worst thing that can happen is you deny that the problem even exists to begin with.
Yes.
At least dito, nakikita natin na ang Supreme Court, pati na yung mga ibang husgadon, they know that kailangan talagang palitan ang sistema. So slowly, I think it's getting better.
You think it's getting better?
I believe so. Now, that's as far as the system is concerned. Now, as to the dispensation of justice, I guess that's another story. But I think there's still a conscious effort on the part of the Supreme Court to discipline the judges, because in fact a number of judges were dismissed from service because of, let's say, a wrong decision, a decision which is totally devoid of merit, or rather it's not based on the law, or totally against the law, or against the facts and the law for that matter.
But aren't they aware of that? Like if they make a decision like that, that's totally not the law? I mean,
Well,
aren't they afraid of getting
two things. Could be that they were aware, but for some other reasons they decided to rule otherwise, or there could be what you call gross ignorance of the law. which is
not an
Which is
excuse.
really
not good
yes.
also.
Okay,
Yeah.
what reasons could there be for them to choose that decision?
Financial?
Maybe, I don't know.
Does that happen a lot?
Well, I'm sure it does one way or the other, but
Mm-hmm.
I do not know for a fact.
Blatantly?
Are you kidding? He's
Maybe.
not going to admit anything.
No, it's not that
But you see it. I mean, do you
No,
see
I-
it happen to other
For
people?
one thing, you cannot see it. I mean, maybe you can just see the result, but you,
can
don't really
assume
know.
it, yeah. They
Maybe
have
you
new
can
cars,
assume.
houses, and all. That's the result.
Maybe, that's possible.
No, because sometimes people say, "Oh, it's going to take 30,000. It's going to take 50,000." I'm like, okay. I mean, everything is out there in the open.
Well, there are many talks, and talk is cheap, as they say. But there's no denying, I think, in any institution for that matter, whether it be government or private, there's always corruption. But at the end of the day, it's not exactly whether corruption exists or not, but how it is tackled when somebody is caught to be corrupt. So it's governance. It's how do I put it? It's you know, in the United States, even in the United States, we see a lot of corruption.
Yes.
I mean, just recently Bernard Madoff, who fooled billions of dollars, fooled some of the smartest, richest people in America.
Martha Stewart.
But the thing is, Martha Stewart, for
Yes,
example.
yes.
But the thing is, look, he's in jail.
Yes.
He's paying for it. So that's the difference. There is corruption anywhere in any part
Oh, but
of this
she's
world.
not in jail anymore. She has her own
She served
TV
her time.
show and
She served her
lifestyle.
time. Yeah. So there's life after being an ex-con.
Okay. So after doing that, Accra, how long were you in Accra?
I was in Accra for about maybe 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. And then
What was your next step?
And then I
Where did Mike Toledo go from there?
well, a lot of people don't know this, but actually I had the opportunity to work under President Ramos.
You did?
Yes, but it was a
As what?
It was not a high-profile position compared as when I was working with President
President
Estrada.
Yes.
I was with the Office of the Executive Secretary, and I was doing a lot of legal work behind the scenes. I was reviewing decisions being rendered. It goes up to the Office of the President for review by the various agencies under the Office of the President. For example, like the HLURB, National Housing, and all those other agencies under the Office of the President, or other agencies which have as a system wherein any decision they make, it goes up to the Office of the President. I was doing that. I was drafting executive orders, administrative orders to be reviewed by the Executive Secretary and the head of the legal department of the President. That's what I was doing.
Okay, so
And you
people
never-
didn't know
yeah.
that because that was before